Hello, this is Reverend Angelia with today's Bible reading. Today's reading comes from Ephesians 6, Slaves and Masters. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Now I'm going to touch on that. In most parts of the world, we don't have slavery anymore. Unfortunately, in a lot of parts of the world, we have slavery going on right under your noses. Human trafficking, sex slavery, that goes on anywhere. And that's why I tell people, if you see anything that don't look right to you, go ahead and report it, because it might not be right, you know. And you can Google the human trafficking line. I'm assuming everybody has access on their phone to Google, and you might save somebody's life. But in the conventional sense, we don't have slaves. But we do have like employers. So you could put it to that. We have bosses, unfortunately, sometimes. Obey your earthly masters with respect and fear. And in the modern day case, with respect, because everyone would like to be treated with respect, and you should treat others with the same respect that you would like to be treated with. The golden rule still applies. And as far as fear goes, the fear that you could lose your job, they do have that power to let you go, and with sincerity of heart. And that's something I talk about a lot with my family, try to impress upon my kids, that nowadays people don't take pride in their jobs like they used to. Anywhere I worked, I did the best I could, and it showed. I worked at one particular place where I was doing the work that 4 people couldn't even do. Yeah. So they had a hard time replacing me. But I believe that you are supposed to take pride in your work. Do the best job you can do. It kills me when I go to these places, and you see employees who are supposed to be, serving customers, sitting on the phone, joking around with other employees, like at restaurants especially, and they get your order wrong. You get your order and you're wrong, and you come up and say, hey, this isn't right, and they're like, what was this supposed to be? Like they're just so put upon, that it's so bothersome for them to do their job the right way the first time. you know? As you would obey Christ. Now, certainly, our earthly bosses are not going to be Christ. It is in your everyday life. He's your boss, your friend, your big brother, whatever you want to call it. So, you're supposed to walk like him, So Jesus wouldn't do a, half-butted job of doing his job. So, thankfully for us, so you shouldn't do the same, and do a half-butted job, here on earth. That's just my opinion. Obey them not only to win their favor when their eye is on you, but like slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. So, like I say, when the boss is not there, you're still supposed to be doing your best job. I worked with a woman when the boss wasn't around. She was on the computer shopping. She was on the phone to people, but when the boss was around, she was working and doing a good job. But when the boss wasn't around, she wasn't even trying to do her job. And who knows that? God knows that. I know it because I saw it, but God knows. Serve wholeheartedly as if you were serving the Lord. So, whatever you're doing, do it as if you were serving the Lord. Do your best. Not men. Because you know that the Lord will reward everyone for whatever good he does, whether he is slave or free. So again, God's watching. If you're playing around at work, not doing your job, not taking pride in your work, God knows that. He sees that. And masters, and like I said, nowadays we can apply that to bosses. Treat your slaves in the same way. So that means treat your employees in the same way. I work for bosses who treat your employees like crap. You know, they're just, peon that's there to do your bidding. And when you treat people like that, even if you have a good employee like me, eventually we're going to get sick of it and we're going to be like, that's it. All I can take. Reach my Papa had all I can stands and can't stands no more moment. I'm out. So treat your people good. Do not threaten them, because that would be, key thing. I had a boss threaten me once. I said, don't bother. I quit. Walked out the door. Because I know I'm doing a good job, you know. Now, if there was a place that hired a bunch of teenagers who weren't doing a good job. They were faking leads and doing a crap job. Okay, maybe a little threat to them might work. But if you have a good employee who's doing their best for you and you threaten them, they're going to walk out the door. Since you know that he who is both their master and yours in heaven, and there is no favoritism with him. So again, God is watching. So if you treat your people bad, God knows that too. So that's all for now. Until next time.